The National Consumer Commission conducts raids at points of entry on imported goods that do not comply with the regulations, such as proper labeling, on a weekly basis. And it has issued about 59 compliance notices in the last financial year ending in March this year. In terms of the regulations, all clothing and textiles need to comply with the labeling requirements. The textile industry, as well as consumers, relies on labels for the item's country of origin. Different tariffs are applied to imported products that are completed and those that are not finished. And non-labeling of goods is detrimental to competition and consumer choice.
The local industry has to comply when they actually manufacture in the country. They have to comply with this regulation to make sure that they label, and it also talks to the issue of costs for the local industry. So when goods are actually imported and then they're labeled here, it actually brings in the issue of competition in that regard, because then it costs more for local manufacturers to be able to comply if we then allow for importers of these goods to then import them maybe at a lower price from other countries.
The Commission has accused several retail outlets in the country of selling imported merchandise with misleading labels. The law requires imported merchandise to have permanent labels stating the country of origin and whether it is being printed or finished in South Africa. The NCC says there shouldn't be a situation where clothing from other countries is labeled in South Africa, and that there's also been instances where imported clothing had been labeled as manufactured in South Africa.
We need to make sure that we do not break the value chain from production of textile and clothing, and also make sure that when they are imported, because if you are importing a particular piece of clothing, you need to make sure that it is complete with all the labeling, especially around the issue of country of origin. So, for example, we also do not want to have a situation where clothing is imported into the country and it's labeled made in South Africa when in fact it was made somewhere else.
The Commission spends millions of rands to do inspections on a regular basis, and it has called on importers to comply with the regulations set by the South African Bureau of Standards on how goods must be labeled. Naledi Matlapeng, SABC News, Johannesburg.